Rock climbing looks terrifying. Falling from heights, dangling by a rope, trusting tiny holds, it's no surprise people think it's dangerous. But how risky is it really? Is it an extreme sport that only adrenaline junkies do? Or is there more to the story? Let's break it down. Indoor bouldering and climbing are generally considered very safe. With padded floors, controlled environments, and proper technique, the falls are usually cushioned and serious injuries are rare. It's a great way to get into climbing without the risks of outdoors. That said, the risk is never zero. If you are climbing with a rope and a belayer, knowing all the safety protocols is crucial. At the end of the day, you are still hanging meters above the ground, and while padded floors can soften a fall, they don't eliminate the risk of injury. And what is the biggest cause of accidents? Human error and miscommunication. We recently saw a shocking example of this when professional climber Sarah fell from 13 meters, hitting the ground hard. In the video, the belayer, who was an experienced coach by the way, did multiple critical mistakes leading to this horrific accident. This is why trusting your belayer is just as important as trusting your gear. Always double check safety systems, communicate clearly, and be mindful of who you are climbing with. Now let's get to the good stuff. Outdoor climbing comes with more risks than indoor climbing, but it's still very manageable with the right precautions. The biggest difference is that you are no longer in a controlled environment. Instead of padded floors and color-coded holds and fixed anchors, you are now dealing with natural rock formations, and you are still outside, which means you have unpredictable weather and other environmental factors. What makes outdoor climbing riskier is the unpredictability of rock conditions. Holds can break, the surface can be wet or slippery, and loose debris can make footing unstable. Also, weather and temperature play a huge role. You can have strong wind or sudden rain or extreme heat that make climbing a little bit more dangerous when climbing outside. That said, the same fundamental safety protocols from indoor climbing still apply. Clear communication, proper belaying, and double checking your gear is just as important, if not more, when climbing outside. So by staying aware of the environment, following best practices, and respecting the risks, outdoors climbing can be rewarding, safe, and a great adventure. But if outdoor climbing comes with more risks, free soloing takes these risks to the extreme. Unlike other forms of climbing where ropes and climbing gear provide a safety net, free soloing means climbing with absolutely no protection. Every move is 100% commitment, because if you make a mistake, it doesn't mean just a fall. It means serious injury or even death. What makes free soloing so dangerous is that there is zero room for error. Even the best climbers in the world meticulously prepare before a free solo ascent. They study all the moves and they are waiting for the perfect conditions. As we mentioned before, rock is unpredictable, so they don't get a second chance. If a hold breaks, then that's it. But despite the extreme risk, free soloing has been pushed to incredible levels, with climbers like Alex Honnold, who famously climbed El Capitan's 900-meter face without a rope. The guy is mental. So now that we've covered the main styles of climbing, how does it compare to other sports? These are the injury rates per 1,000 hours of activity for some popular sports. I will put the sources in the description. By the way guys, these numbers may differ from study to study, so do your own research. Alright, first up, football, or soccer for my American friends. No surprise here, it's one of the most injury-prone sports out there, with around 8.1 injuries per 1,000 hours of play. Next, we've got American football, with an average of 6.6 injuries per 1,000 hours of exposure, which makes sense with all the full contact tackles and the hard hits. Basketball comes in with 6 to 14 injuries per 1,000 hours of play, with a lot of stress on the knees and ankles. So how does climbing compare? Sport climbing, which means climbing with a rope, has 0.2 injuries per 1,000 hours of activity. Indoor bouldering has as low as 0.01 injuries. Believe it or not, studies show that climbing has a lower injury rate than many mainstream sports. Sure, injuries happen, but most of them are not from big falls. They are usually from overuse, like tendon finger injuries or pulled muscles. So if you think that climbing is all about life-threatening falls, well, the stats show otherwise. So yes, climbing has risks, but so does any other sport. The difference is that in climbing, we manage those risks with training, preparation, and safety checks. So it's not about recklessness, it's about pushing the limits while staying in control. And honestly, the feeling of climbing, whether it's topping out the boulder or reaching the anchor at the root or just having fun with your friends at the gym, is so worth it. There's a reason climbers keep coming back. It's a mix of challenge, adventure and pure fun that it's hard to find anywhere else. So if you ever wanted to try climbing but were scared of the danger, don't be. Learn the basics, start indoors and give it a go. You might just surprise yourself. So that was it guys. If you liked this video, drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe for more climbing content. See you in the next one.